Video games can have a lot of meaning to everyone. For some, it may just be a third digital space to cool off and relax, like in World of Warcraft. For others, they may strive for RPGs like The Witcher, which offers a great story immersion and even representations of some elements of Slavic culture, for instance. But for me, these games act as a great sanctuary. When I come home, a game can act as a place where I can relax and sink numerous hours into these worlds. Whatever does traveling around the Sword Coast in Baldur's Gate, to get that huge feeling of adventure, or being a general in Total War Warhammer, playing it with friends and conquering the world together. All these things are, without doubt, great. But what if in 2 or 3 years I lose access to these games that I enjoy for relaxation, whether they are older or newer? In the last few months, I really started to value the idea of physical media, because that's a safe gateway to these sanctuaries that no one can take from me. I even thought about getting a console, like a PlayStation 5, because I would own those discs, but as the time went on, with the news that GTA 6 might be digital only at launch, and PlayStation games won't be in physical disc version around 2028, my desire was to own a console that could last maybe 10 years, then maybe use an emulator or buy a new one to still have access to that medium after the console was discontinued. As consoles have this great feature called backward compatibility. I felt it was good because I could just insert the physical medium I owned into the next console and have access to the games I bought. But after the news like this, I feel like my desire for owning a console vanished because probably future consoles won't have disc units. And this brings me to my PC. I have used it currently for 10 years I think, and it acts as an archive for my big library on Steam or GOG. I don't really have to be afraid of it breaking at any point because I can replace those parts more easily, and it's my own machine. I am basically a curator of my history in these games. I currently have around 100 games installed and all of these games can have some value to me. I can just pick one and jump right into it. I installed one 5 years ago and it's still there. This is a beautiful thing to me. But as I mentioned in the beginning, it doesn't fix the idea of not owning those games physically. They may be on a hard drive or SSD, but when this piece of storage breaks, it's not similar to owning a backup on a disk with a sturdy box. And this is what I liked about consoles. I could have a disk, put it into the console and just install those games with a backward compatibility into the future ones. For me, this desire to have that box is heartwarming, as I know that I own this tangible piece of art. I recently cleaned my room and put all of the physical versions of my PC games into a storage box. Some of those games are really childish, for me, when I was like 8, but they hold significant material memories. Certain games came back to my mind simply because I found a game box while cleaning. And that was an incredible feeling, a feeling that can't be achieved by digital ownership. It's like having a photo of your grandparents. It is better to hold the photograph in your hands on a piece of paper rather than looking at it on a screen. I feel this is similar to something I started doing recently, collecting figures and collectibles from games I bought, like playing cards inspired by Baldur's Gate 3. It's just heartwarming to have them in this premium case in front of me at the table next to my Shadowheart figure. It brings something from my digital sanctuary into my room, where I spend a lot of time. I can physically take it in my hands. This material ownership is an important aspect, because no one can take it from me. If services were to shut down, I still own a piece of media, or the world that was created in some form. But the consoles don't really provide that idea to me now. Removing disk units in the future is a sad direction in terms of having true ownership of these worlds. It's a shame. Back when The Witcher 3 released, you got a box with 4 discs. It still currently sits on my shelf together with the Blood and Wine expansion. That expansion came with just a code, which is true. But at least I got something from that world in terms of physical Gwent cards. For many in The Witcher, collecting Gwent cards is more important part of the game than saving Ciri. And I could own some of my favorite cards in real life. Basically bring a part of the game I like into my home. This adds incredible value. With my purchase, I'm still getting something out of it, not just a great expansion, but a part of the fictional world that is now part of the real one. I get a memento that can stay with me until the end of my days. These are just high quality paper cards in a sturdy box, but it's like a jewelry or a watch you would get from your grandparents. That value serves as a personal connection to you as an individual, and that value can be different from yours to mine, because all of us value things differently. This is supported by discs too. When The Witcher 3 came out with 4 discs, I could put them into my PC drive, install it and play the day 1 version offline. It is very nice that this piece of art, which for me serves as a presentation of my Slavic roots thanks to its folklore, is forever accessible to me on those discs. And even though nowadays playing PC games has become more of a digital environment because of platforms like Steam, I can still have a say in how I own some of those games. On GOG, if they have a game that I like, I can buy it. With that purchase, I get an offline installer that I can put on my external hard drive or somewhere outside of my computer. If I really like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance, I can buy it there, get that installer, put it on an external drive, and in 5 years I can still install it offline. It's not exactly like having a physical box, but you can still build a vault of the games you deeply care about through storefronts like GOG. I even remember back when The Witcher 3 released its free DLCs. There is a quest with a mage tower on Skellige, where a mage is locked out of his own tower. It is locked by DRM mechanism called Defensive Regulatory Magicon, because he isn't the original owner. To unlock it, you need to find Gottfried's Omni-Opening Grimoire, a clear GOG reference to disable the DRM. This serves as a brilliant Easter egg regarding digital ownership. GOG offers a vast number of games that you surely love, allowing you to buy them and store the offline installer on an external hard drive. This doesn't just apply to Baldur's Gate, it can be for Rogue Trader or even games like Stellaris. But then again, as I mentioned, Steam is a lot more convenient for me. It's like brand of clothing or a PC components. As you get used to it, you just stick with them, because you are satisfied with their service and quality. Take the Steam Workshop for instance. It is a great feature where I can download all kinds of mods for Total War Warhammer, a game I deeply enjoy. I have also easy connection with friends, community discussions, and even guides if I get stuck on how to progress in a game. These quality of life features really sell Steam. Not many storefronts have this huge arsenal of tools for developers to implement and players to use. I would also say that a lot of people don't really mind playing an indie game for a few hours, finishing it, and never going back. Even if they are beautiful pieces of art, I feel like many people just don't care. And that can be a shame. For me, I would like to have a backup of Valheim, for instance. Even if I haven't played for some time, it was a great survival game. Then there are games I enjoyed, like Expedition 33 or Rogue Trader, which I am currently playing. I can go to GOG, support the developers one more time and get an offline installer. I can keep that installer on my drive in my house and have that feeling that I possess something that can be taken from me, ready for my personal use at any given time. And it's really up to each of us how we value these games. Some may treat it like a ticket to the cinema, buy a game for 10 euros, get the 20 hours of enjoyment and never turn it on again. Then games like Baldur's Gate, The Witcher or Expedition 33 can be life-changing, giving us a completely new outlook on life or influencing us deeply. We want to guard these games that have given us so many hours, maybe even hundreds. You currently have the means to save some of those games. If you are afraid of losing that permanent link to them, you can buy them on GOG, put your most personal favorites on an external drive and keep them there. It's up to you, you vote with your wallet. And if a game is deeply personal to you, buying it again simply to support the developers is probably a small price to pay. It secures a permanent key to your digital sanctuary. All of these opportunities are great because I have some means to maintain that link, but what about games like World of Warcraft? There are a lot of people who deeply value their time there, their huge collection of mounts, and the time spent with friends. If decades from now World of Warcraft shuts down, all of this will be lost, and currently my only gateway to this world is either playing to level 20 for free, or paying for a WoW token or subscription. These games will someday cease to exist. It is simply the reality of how they are built. It's a beautiful dream to imagine having a personal Azeroth at home, to just log onto my character and walk to Green Plains in single player, if the servers ever shut down. Even if the connection to this world is primarily digital, we can still have ties to it through other means, collector's editions, figures, and social bonds. All these things will still be here. Just like that box for The Witcher Blood and Wine expansion, no one can take these moments from me, or the friends that I made playing these games. Single player games can act as my personal sanctuary. It's a place where during bad times or dark moods, I can find comfort during adventuring with my favorite companions. But an online game is more about the idea of belonging. Even if we play it alone, it is a third digital space. It gives me the feeling of sharing a world with someone. It serves as a place to connect with longtime friends that you might not see much in real life. You share a game of a Warhammer or run a dungeon in WoW together. That is the beauty of online games. They bring a different kind of value to us as individuals. They offer different things. Some may even encourage us to be creative, to create fun art or cosplays of our favorite bosses and characters. And if you create it yourself, you are making a material link to those games. When you look at it, you recall those memories, those moments. It's like that photograph I mentioned earlier. When you have that physical piece of work close to you, the memories come rushing back naturally, rather than just relying on a digital memory. But let's hope that games like WoW will be there for us for decades to come, as they provide a true place of belonging for so many. At the end of the day, game represents something unique to each of us. As I mentioned throughout this video, the value of a game is subjective. This medium, this art, can be seen vastly different by everyone, but we have the means to preserve these games in some way. Whatever it's a fan-made art, figures, special editions, or external hard drives that can preserve them for a long time. It's up to you to do your part today, to preserve these sanctuaries and secure your keys to them. Vote with your wallet, create some art, buy physical versions of games. That material value, whatever it's a figure, artwork, or just a box, helps us recall those deep memories of the places that kept us going in life. Anyway, thank you for your attention. More content to come, though not guaranteeing similar quality.